So I don't know what this is going to be. I just feel like I'm lost and I need to say something, do something other than just sit on a couch and watch my life just waste away. Not to be depressing or anything, but just haven't been feeling good lately. And I feel like I have the answers, but well, maybe I don't have the answers. Maybe I just think I do. Maybe that's been my whole life, where I think I have some type of answer and it just doesn't ever really happen that way. I feel like I make a lot of progress and then I don't. I don't know if this is life. You get better and then you get worse and then you get better again and then you get worse again and then it just keeps going and going and going. I feel sad, anxious. You ever feel like you want to cry, but you can't? Like it's this weird thing where it's just like so overwhelming, like whatever you're feeling. I don't know if it's anxiousness or whatever it is. And I just can't overcome it. I don't know. It's difficult to describe. I think it's more difficult to feel and then also try to overcome that feeling. I've been sick the last few days, so I've missed work, and I've realized that I'm missing work is not very good for my mental health, but that also makes me sad because I don't want to rely on a job to make me not have these weird, anxious thoughts about life. Like every time I leave my routine of going to work, not so much a routine because I don't really have a routine right now. I'm just kind of in a weird void of nothingness. There's not really any habits that I can draw off of. And I wonder if other people feel like this or if I'm just kind of alone. I wonder what's the point sometimes. And I listen to songs and they remind me of the feeling that I'm feeling, but it doesn't really give me the answers. I think that's kind of the worst thing about life is that you can find other people who maybe feel like you do. They might even be going through the same thing that you're going through, but half the time they're just making songs or poetry or writing plays or whatever it is, making videos, doing TikToks, and they'll explain that they feel the same way that you do, but they don't actually have the answer. And I have my stoicism, and I probably should. That's where I was going back. I feel like I have the answers, but then I just somehow keep falling from these habits that I have, and it makes me feel like nothing is okay. Like it can't get better. Maybe it's the people I'm hanging around. Maybe it's the fact that I'm not hanging around people. Maybe it's because, I don't know, trying to tell the truth more, trying to be more realistic with things in my life. I try to be, better, but it just doesn't seem like it is getting any better. But part of me knows that I've been here before, that, I've had this feelings before, and goddamn, was it much worse? And, I'm glad I have these books that I can read and these things that I can draw off of now, but it doesn't make it any really easier. You still got to go through it. You just know that, who says it? Probably Epicurus or Seneca. Some great philosopher of the past probably said this, but, well, they did. I just don't know which one it was, but, they said that, like, we suffer more in our imagination than we do in real life. Nothing that is, I think it's Marcus that says nothing that is that bad can last that long, and if it does last long, then you can bear it. It's just the bearing part can be hard, It can be hard to disassociate from whatever you're feeling because it's in the moment, It's challenging. It's really challenging to live life, to be okay, to, I don't know. It's hard to balance everything. There's just so much stuff going through all the time. I feel like I'm just staring at my phone, just looking at this endless recommended page on YouTube that doesn't fucking do anything for me. I just, like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything like that. Obviously, I didn't want my first whatever this is, I would hope it's a podcast, I don't know, to be this depressing. But I had to do something. I had to write something. I had to make something. I had to fill this void of my life with something. I was taking my dog on a walk. She's sitting all cute now over here. And I was just thinking, man, what is my purpose? what do I wake up and do every single day of my life? What do I wake up and do? What do I do? I wake up and I just kind of let life happen. I make food when I'm hungry. I go to work because I have to. It's like pretty much the only scheduled thing in my life. I take my dog on walks. Recently I've gotten more into the habit of it, but there's so many things that I start that I just don't finish. And I wonder if other people are like that. And maybe that's just what's the problem. Because on that walk, I was thinking, like, you just don't wake up and you don't have a plan. But it's just like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. And looking it up, it's just like, it feels like people don't actually have the answers for me that, that would work for me. And maybe I have to look and maybe I have to stop feeling sorry for myself. But part of me doesn't feel like it's feeling sorry. Part of me feels like there's something off, something missing. And I thought I found that purpose, but I still want to be a good man. Like, that's the purpose of my life that I want to have. But I feel like it's not happening the way I want it to. I feel like it's just not. I'm in debt, and my relationship is, I don't know what it is. I'm in a relationship with another person too, and I don't know what that is. I've always wanted to be like an interesting person. I've always wanted to, have people like me because I do interesting things, or because I write interesting things, or because I think interesting ideas. And, for a while there, it felt like I was interesting, but, just in the way that a car crash is interesting, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's like what you'd want, doesn't mean that's what like you garner for or that you wish to have. I don't know. It's hard to say what I can do to fix it, but I think today is the first day where I just was like, how about we don't go down this dark path again? How about we don't just do the same thing over and over again? Maybe we should try to change up the formula, Maybe we shouldn't just throw waves of a minute, a wall that would never fall. Instead, try to overcome the wall or go underneath it or invent black powder or something. I don't know. In anime, they always have the protagonist. Not even anime, but I think like my favorite stories are the ones where like someone's like a fool, or like a beginner, somebody who doesn't actually have a lot of skills, is maybe, pretty not interesting. They're very boring. They're like kind of like almost like an everyday man, but they're not. They're like how would I describe it? They're just like they're like the beginning. They're very unredeemable. They're very selfish. They're very narcissistic. They're very just, that's where I am. I mean, obviously, if I look back at it, I'm better than I was like 2 or 3 years ago. But still, it's like, I've fallen into a lot of the same habits that I've had, a lot of the same problems, and I wonder why I end up like this. But maybe I needed to talk to myself. I mean, really, that's what this is. I'm just talking to myself because, I've also done this where I don't upload this to something. I just kind of just say, yeah, fuck it. I just want to have purpose. I want something. I can feel it. I don't need anything. I need to follow the path that I set for myself 2 years ago. I need to be a good man. I need to stop doing things that I know are bad to people. I need to start telling the truth more. I need to stop lying to myself and others. And maybe I just needed to talk to a microphone and hear myself repeat these same things over and over again until I finally get it through this beautiful white Mexican skull of mine. I really wonder sometimes if other people go through what I go through, and I feel like so many people are. I went to PetSmart, and it was weird because, I went to PetSmart, and you would think that, when you go outside, that you would see that most people are, average, having a good day, or not even having a good day, but just being neutral. And it's just you can see so many people just have frowns on their faces, and I'm not talking about resting bitch face or anything like that. What I'm talking about is just, man, you go outside and you just see so many people who are just not happy. You do see people who are happy. Obviously, people have good days and bad days, but so many people look miserable. It always just goes back to the stoicism. I'm just trying to control things that I can't control. And I'm not concentrating on things that I can control. I'm not focusing and working hard. It's if you want a strong core, you train core, and you look up how to train core well. If you want to be in control of your emotions, if you want to be in control of how you think and how you feel, then you do that. You do it every single day, and you work on it every single day. And it's the most important thing in your life, right? And then once you start to get good at that, you work even harder the next time. But because you have such a baseline of skill, you can then become something great. You can then become something that's purposeful. And that's what I want. I want to become something purposeful, not some void of just continuous, this thing's happening, so I got to deal with it now. This thing's happening. I want to have a plan. I think that's what this is all about. It's just kind of telling the world that I want to plan, that I want to be more planned. I want to have more. I want to be more. I've always wanted to be more. And I think that I finally have just had enough. I've had enough of being what I would consider a person who is just so wrapped up in their own things that, well, it's not even my own things. It's just that I'm wrapped up in things that don't matter. I'm wrapped up in things that I cannot control. And that is what's leading me to have these really massive issues. Oh, excuse me. Man, my sinuses are just killing me. Oh my God. Oh, I can still make myself laugh, which is good. That's a good sign. Whew. I don't really think there's much else to say. I mean, I guess I could go on and ramble forever in a day, but I don't think anyone would want to listen to that. I don't think I'd want to listen to myself talk for that long. I'm totally kidding. I'd listen to myself talk forever if I could, but yeah. Memento mori. Remember that the sun will come up tomorrow, that life will begin again, it will end, and that I am on the path, and we are where we are supposed to be. Thank you very much for listening, and hope I'll see you next time. Bye bye.